Hello to you all again. Yes, it's been a little while, hasn't it? And January has been a long, dark, wet month here in the northwest of England, as you'll be aware. So, but we're out riding at long last. And yes, it is all very wet, it's all very, lots of flooding everywhere, but never mind. And a special welcome to my over 750 subscribers. Thank you all so much. Thank you for staying with me. This has been, what, 2 years on now since I started this with just one subscriber, and you know who you are. And yeah, special thank you to everyone that stayed with me. I mean, a few have gone and a lot more have arrived, so that's been wonderful to have you all along with me on these rides. Now this is all a little bit unusual because this, whilst it might seem to be over 34 minutes long, this ride, it's in two parts. Now we've just passed what was the old A6 road there. That's where the road used to go up there before they did this little bypass, by the by. Yes, so where was I? A bit of a tangent there. Oh yes, I know. I was talking about the fact that this is in two parts. Right, the first 20 minutes or so, that is this ride, and then there's the second part, and the second part is actually a journey along the road from Bowness up through the little village of Crook to the roundabout near Kendal, and that is in my 1972 Volkswagen Air Beetle, which one or two of you have said, oh, it would be quite nice to have a little run out. Well, it was quite a pleasant day actually. I drove to the Model Boat Club at Windermere with the new yacht, and to give it a go, make sure it was okay. And so I thought, well, I'll try and filming it. Now I've not tried that any distance before. I had the camera mounted on the headrest in the car, extra windscreen, and so anyway, you don't have to watch that obviously, because you can watch what you like when you like, and that's your prerogative. So we're on this A6, and as you can see, I have not gone up any country lanes. Now, before I talk about that, I want to say a very big thank you not only to my lovely subscribers, but also to Moto, who gave me a glowing testimonial in his latest ride around the lanes of Warwickshire, and lovely ride it is. And so thank you so much, Dave Moto, for such a lovely mention. You're very kind. So we're come up to the village of Milnthorpe here, and we'll be dropping down into the village itself. We'll go straight across. So why aren't we going on country lanes? Well, because after my experience of plunging into muddy and slurrified water, I decided until I've got dry roads, I am not going to be venturing down country lanes. Not the very narrow country lanes anyway, because they're just so flooded, and I had enough of that. I've cleaned the bike down afterwards. It took me 3 whole days of a lot of heavy work trying to get that clean, and even then, after all that time, there's still, you know, you just can't get rid of it completely, can you? But it's all got coated now with ACF 50, that anti-corrosion stuff, and so that should do it. But I don't really want to take it out on through a load of slurry again, so this is quite enough. So this is Milnthorpe, and over to the right hand side is the River Bella, which is in because of all this rain we've had, it's in quite a high state, and it's a bit of a gloomy day. The sun is just peeking through a bit, isn't it? It's not too bad. But, yeah. So yes, my subscribers. Gosh, when I think back to when I started, I had no idea what I was doing. That very first time I put something on YouTube, I had never done anything with YouTube whatsoever, and I just didn't know what I was doing. I had this. In fact, the camera I started with was it cost me £50. It didn't have any stabilisation, and just gonna pop in here and stop for a moment, but we'll be on our way again. Yeah, tried that, and I thought, and it was awful because when I got back from that first ride using it, it was in the autumn time, and it's been autumn. It was November, and I set the camera at 4K, thinking that was what you did. Well, because it was all pixelated and horrible, so that was no good. So I have settled now for 1080 at 30 frames per second, because that gives me a decent sized file that I can then upload in a reasonable length of time, because I don't use, I'm a bit of a cheapskate, I don't use proper broadband even. I do all this on a little tablet, and I use my phone as what's called a tethering hotspot. So yes, that's how it's done here. I know the proper moto vloggers, as many of you are that watch me, they've got all the gear, GoPros and bits and pieces, but no, I'm afraid that I don't do it that way. So that's a Bella, River Bella is over there. I'm just passing a paper mill over on the right hand side. They produce paper for the medical industry over that way, and they've changed the speed limit along here. At one time, for quite a period, it was 30 miles an hour, but they've changed it back to 50 again, and I think that must be because they've repaired a bridge which was in a bit of a state. So anyway, that's what's happened there. So I know that not all of you are subscribed, and that's, you know, entirely up to you. If you don't want to subscribe, that's fine. I know some people think that Google will take your very soul, and by subscribing they know exactly what you're up to, and this is true, of course. Google does seem to know exactly what you're up to, so I quite understand why you would want to subscribe. But anyway, thank you very much for watching anyway. But those of you that have subscribed, I am very grateful. And whilst yeah, I've got, I think last time I looked it was 756 subscribers, but it does fluctuate. I mean, probably after this video it dropped down a bit again, going below 750, but never mind, we don't care, do we? It's lovely to share. I think the lovely thing that that Dave Marcimoto talks about in his video ride was that YouTube is about sharing, and it's about making friends. And one of the great beauties is you learn so much from other people. Now, it gives you the whole world, in fact, to share with. And this is something very unusual, isn't it? Because in the past, when I was a motorcyclist, I had sort of around about half a dozen close friends, I suppose, and then a few other friends besides that I met in passing, and they all mainly had BSA Gold Stars, I have to say. There was Arthur's 350 CB Gold Star he had, Graham with his DB 350, Malcolm with his DBD 34 500cc machine, Peter, he had a 500 DBD. Yes, so they all had Gold Stars. Now I did actually work on some of those Gold Stars because they weren't, they did used to go wrong, because you know, by then they were quite old machines, and a couple of them asked me if I would just do the engines for them, which I did. So I was quite used to working on Gold Stars, and I suppose I got to the point where I thought, well, they've all got Gold Stars, in that case I don't really want one, because I've worked on these, and I can have a ride on one when I want it anyway. And so I never actually got one for myself. I did almost get a CB 500, but that was a student at Portsmouth University, he was, and he asking £50 for it. Now £50 then, that was an awful lot of money. I was an apprentice, and I could just about scrape it if I sold my Triumph, but I couldn't sell my Triumph. That was the problem, so I never got one. Maybe that's a good thing. Aching wrists, I can imagine. And very high, of course, very high bottom gear in that RRT2 gearbox meant you were slipping the clutch most of the time. Still, it is what it is, and we're here now riding our lovely Hunter along these roads. I'm going to slip up here because I've had enough of that A6. So whilst this is a country lane, I decided that probably this wasn't going to be too wet. So we go up here, and this will take me over to another A road, which is much quieter, much nicer one, the one that goes through Burton and Kendal, and then thence across some more quiet roads and back home. So far then we've had a fair bit of puddling, and there's one there, and I'm just going over the canal now here, or is it the railway? Not sure. I think that was no, I'm not sure what that was. There's both the canal and the railway along this road, and then we come up to the crossover for the M6. But as you can see, there's a huge amount of flooding still, and it's not pleasant riding. I mean, I think as Alex, that's Bleary View, Adventures of Bleary View, said in his recent video, both he and I weren't riding for a long time. This is the M6. We haven't been riding for a long time, so it's nice to be out riding now, and unless you come out on days like today, then you just don't get any riding in the winter. And January has been such a dark month for me. Not dark in terms of my mental health, but very dark in terms of trying to do anything. Even in what I call my garden room, which is my conservatory, where I do a fair bit of, that's my main room. Even out there, it's very dull, and trying to do things is so difficult, I find. Maybe that's because my eyes are no longer the young eyes they used to be. But anyway, we're just coming up to the A road now, and we're going to take a right. Left would take us through Burton and Kendal. And this is quite a nice bit of road just here, because this is a road owned by Cumbria County Council, this part, and but a bit further down it becomes Lancashire County Council, and it's in a dire state, as you will see. But no, this part's been resurfaced in the last I don't know, 8 years maybe, and it is nice and smooth. So what can I tell you about the Hunter now then, after this one is over a year old now, and it's a couple of thousand miles on it, nicely run in. It is so smooth. It gets smoother as they get more run in, they get even smoother, and it's amazing. I mean, we're just doing 50 now, and this is so smooth. Single cylinder engine doing 50 miles an hour. In the past, I'd be vibrating like mad. Not really, but it'll be tingling a bit when the handlebars and on the footrests. But this one doesn't. It's just so utterly smooth and a joy to ride, nimble. And I have noticed too at the sort of things that people watch that are most popular. And the most popular of my videos were the early ones I did about a year ago when I first got the Hunter. And I suppose that's not surprising, is it? But 10,000 views I've had on one of them. But of course, views doesn't necessarily mean subscribers, does it? As we know. you know, you can just drop in and drop out again as you wish. But yeah, it's surprising they sort of and the fitting of panniers to the machine. Now that did surprise me. I didn't think many people would be interested in that, but amazing. I think it's 7,500 views that's had. So yes, at the time there was nothing available for the Meteor or the Hunter. This is a horrible bit of road. We're now in Lancashire. Lancashire County Council. It's just a diabolical bit of road. So a bit careful here, slow down a bit. I'm going to take a left-hand turn here and go across country a bit, because whilst this is fine, this will take me back onto the A6 again if I carried on near Carnforth. So I don't really want to do that. I'll cut across country and go a slightly different route. Yeah, so this is almost, I suppose you could call it a celebratory ride. It warms my heart to think that so many people like to watch these rides, because I know I am a bit quirky, I have to say. The sort of places I ride, the sort of speeds I ride at, and the sort of places I like to see. It's obviously a lot of you like to see that too, so that's great. Just going over the river there, and heading up towards Road Junction, which is left and right. These are the roads that we've ridden before, normally in sunshine and dry roads. And whilst the bike handles fine, I mean I'm okay on wet roads. It's just you just can't relax as much, because you're always some concern that there's going to be some horrible sort of puddle right across the road. And this one obviously was quite large. I'll move across a bit from that. And if you hit a puddle at anything reasonable sort of speed on 2 or 4 wheels, steering becomes a bit light. Pop in here for a moment. Right, and we're away again. So. And this will take us up to the canal again, and those traffic lights, and just there I think I'll leave you, and then we'll have the little journey in Bella, my Beetle, up over on the Crook Road. And I think I explained that Bella is my 1972 Beetle, and we travelled everywhere in her. And I've been her custodian, so to speak, since 1981. A lovely little car. It does about 35 to the gallon on a run. Not so much in town, because it's got an automatic choke, which tends to make it a bit rich. And until you warm up, it's using a fair bit of fuel. But she cost me so little. I mean, road insurance is only about £100 for the year, and there's no road tax or MOTs or anything like that. Rely on you to do all the work now. And yeah, so she's in nice condition. She runs nicely, and I've no need for anything else. So I hope you enjoy that second part. You've stayed the course for this one, and that you're going to take this run in the sunshine and on drier roads. Actually, the run in Bella. So it's a bit unusual, but I do actually talk as we drive, which is very novel for me. So I think we could be coming up to these lights soon, surely, over the canal. And so we'll leave you to enjoy that journey in Bella. And here we are, here are the lights. So perhaps see you at the end, and thanks very much for watching this part. And here's our run in Bella. Just coming up now. So yes, Bella is my 1972 1302S Volkswagen air-cooled Beetle. I've owned her since 1981. She's now done a couple of 100,000 miles. taken us everywhere, all over the country. And so, very special memories she's got. She's in everyday use, except I don't use her every day. I mean, I've used her today to take the boat down to across to the Steamboat Museum. I'm just hanging off up this little road here. Yeah, it's a bit flooded here. Quite a steep climb up here. So generally, if I want to travel any real distance, to make it easier for parking, I mean, I have taken her to Kendal and places like that recently, but generally I'll hop on the bus because it's free for me, and it's only £2 for anybody else, so a bonus. A Bertie bonus, as Alex would say. Now, this is our junction. We're going to go left and then right here. Take us up through Crook. This is the first time we've been up this way. This is a return journey from. We rode down this road recently in the wet. So I'm hoping it won't be too flooded. So 3 miles to Crook, it says. Quite a steep climb. I'm going to have to drop in a second here. Oh, the weather's perked up a bit. It was quite grey down at the pond, but it was, my main concern with the yacht was about the depth of keel. Would it hit the bottom of the pond? Well, the caravan's come through, so it must be possible to get through. It actually doesn't look too bad. It's rather a nice day. Flooded there, so yeah, we're tooting along here, and you can enjoy the journey instead of hearing me nash on. God, makes you feel as though spring is just around the corner. This is a lovely road in either direction. Uphill this way, it has to be said. You can do it, Bella. Oh, that is steep. Yeah, we'll come along here on the bike when it's dry. Oh, won't that be lovely? Dry roads. That's the only trouble. On the places that have got a lot of hills, they will fly these jet aircraft very low, and they can make you jump a bit if you're of a nervous disposition like me. Hey, sunlight, God, how wonderful is that? That makes you feel better. Does me. It seems to have been a very, very long January. Not helped by December and November being so wet.
trying to get out. It's been so hard. Stone bar. Sorry Bella, that wasn't very nice, was it? This is all uphill. I realise this. Dropping down to the lake, I suppose. Wrong, it was a bit flooded here and there. Hopefully it won't be any worse because the exhaust plugs are quite low to the ground, so I do not want to be going through any water. Must be crook. Whoa, that lovely view. Well, oh yes, definitely be coming this way on the bike. Sun's gone in. It's not just flooding. Oh dear.